Hey, I bet you didn't know this.
All right, let's see it. And the fit for this video is the Ninja Turtles.
But in the Garden of Eden, when God told Adam that he could eat of any tree except for one, the word that is used for eat doesn't necessarily mean to chew and swallow food. So let's check it out in the Strong's Concordance. So the word is eat. In Genesis 2:16, in the garden, thou mayest freely eat. This is reference number 398, right? So you flip to the Hebrew dictionary and find reference number 398. And reference number 398 is akal, and it's a primitive root to eat, but can be used literally or figuratively, at all, burn up, or consume.
I just want everybody to be aware that there is a law irrevocably decreed in heaven before the foundations of this world, that anyone who gets on social media to leverage Strong's Concordance to prove a point about the Bible has never studied Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic and does not understand Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic.
So now, knowing that it can be used literally or figuratively, thinking of what we figuratively eat or consume, well, I know that we consume and digest far more than just food, right? Like this Strong's Concordance, for example. I consume and digest information from this book daily.
So the two biggest problems I see with folks who don't know Greek, Hebrew, or Aramaic, but have access to a Strong's, and so think they have the key that unlocks all exegetical doors, is that they will either see a list of senses and then assert that any given use of that word evokes all of those different senses at the same time, or they will imagine that it is their prerogative to just arbitrarily dictate which of those senses is intended with any given use without considering the context. And this content creator is falling closer to the latter because they recognize that the word can be used figuratively or metaphorically, and so have decided that they get to declare that it is being used figuratively or metaphorically where they want to. And this is a part of trying to leverage the authority of the Bible to authorize any given belief or dogma that may not actually be in the Bible, but because they have a Strong's Concordance, they suddenly think that they are in charge of what the Bible means. But the word achal is used figuratively or metaphorically where the context indicates it. And that usually means where either the subject of the verb is not something that can or normally does chew and swallow food, or the object of the verb is not something that is normally chewed and swallowed as food. So for instance, in Deuteronomy 32:42, God says, "V'charvi tochal basar," and my sword eats flesh. And a sword does not chew and swallow flesh, but metaphorically, it chops up flesh and in that sense consumes flesh. Another example is that a people can consume space or land, not by eating dirt, but by spreading out and aggressively occupying land. That's another sense that we see in the Bible, where the object of the verb is not something that is chewed up and swallowed. So in the story of the Garden of Eden, nothing in the context indicates that. So we can't just arbitrarily insist that the author intended that. But let's see why this content creator thinks this is meaningful.
Just like I believe that Adam and Eve consumed information from the trees in the garden.
So there we go. This content creator believes that. They don't understand the languages, but they have a Strong's Concordance which seems to them to authorize them to assert that their belief is what was intended, and so that's what they're going to do.
But anyway, these Strong's Concordances are selling out quick. So click this link right here and pick you up one. Then we can get in God's Word the way it's meant to be. In depth, rightly divided.
Far be it from me to try to get in the way of anybody trying to make a buck. But you can access Strong's Concordance for free in numerous different editions on tens of thousands of different websites. And this is not getting into the word as it was intended to be understood. This is not rightly dividing anything. This is misunderstanding and misusing an obsolete and out-of-date resource just to try to prop up dogmas.